Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing this fine day? Oh, that's good. That's good. Matt Cottle here, but you call me Matty Ice because that's how cool I am. I'm a certified kickboxing coach, a Christian, single, and a comedian. Yeah, that is a certified kickboxing coach who just so happens to be on the autism spectrum. So if you do see me stim a little bit, I'm not stimming, I swear. I'm actually expressing my sexual frustrations. So I want to invite you to my school program called Matt on the Mat. You'll get a kick out of it, I promise you. And since I'm not going to open mic tonight because still the gas prices, I know when will it end, but it's going down a notch, but not quite. So anyway, folks, I hope you had a nice Father's Day. Folks, I have given up completely of being a dad. I'm pretty much what you call as opt-out. Yeah, I tried the online dating apps, folks, but they were pretty much like slot machines. Always putting money in and pulling that lever, and you just never win. So now I'm going to focus on other things like my comedy career, my kickboxing career, and yeah, even writing. And yes, I have written that book, folks, thanks to Wolfberg Publishing. Oh yeah, try them out. They're really good. They're really reasonable. Yeah, my book is called The Chronicles of Fort Venegard. It's about superpowers. I thought that was a good start. It's very popular these days. So I written a book about an Earth that had a comet that went through our atmosphere and turned 45% of the population to superheroes, super abilities. And yes, I'll be in it. I said, why not? I mean, Tyler Perry did it, so why not me? So yeah, I'll be in it. I'll be a certified kickboxing coach at that school, at the military school, training males with multiple arms and size shifting women. So anyway, folks, I hope you had a nice Father's Day. Since I'm not going to be a dad, I'm never going to tell dad stories, but I do have a dad. Did you not know that 85% of dads abandon their families because they're on the autism spectrum? Yeah, my dad never did that. So kudos to him. So I'll tell you stuff about my dad. Number one, he was born and raised in the beautiful state of Utah in a farm where family trauma wasn't really called trauma. It was just called Tuesday. Imagine yourself being 6 years old. You see a horse jumping over a fence, and little did the horse knew that there was a nail sticking up on one of the fences. So the horse jumps over it and guts it like a fish. And the guts were all over the place, and the horse was, and they had to put it down. And I'm like, Dad, how did you ever survive that? And my dad shrugs, says, I didn't. And I'm like, okay, then how did you get over it? He shrugs again and answers, well, 3 things. 1, I knew farming was never going to be my cup of tea. 2, I know how to deal with certain things like that. And 3, there was more glue to the classroom. That is pure Utah optimism right there. So who needs therapy when you have Elmer's, right? And fast forward to when he's 16 years old, he leaves Mormonism. Yeah, 16 years old. How's that possible? Well, he reads the Bible, the book of Matthew. Why my name is Matthew. Chapter 7, verses 15 and 20. Beware of false prophets. You shall know by their fruits. So my dad thinks about this for a moment. Okay, Joseph Smith had 34 wives. The youngest was 14 years old. My dad slams that book and he just said, I'm out. Folks, that was not a church split. That was a mic drop. Then 2 more years go by. He gets drafted in the United States Marine Corps during the Vietnam War. Yeah, he was force reconnaissance. Swift, silent, deadly. I mean, he only took 20 steps in Vietnam ground. And then he witnessed another Marine blow his own brains out because he read a Dear John letter. And my dad's like, does this happen often? Gunnery Sergeant shrugs his shoulder and says, welcome to Nam. Happens all the time. What a welcoming committee, am I right, folks? 18-year-olds these days are saying, my generation has started a revolution. My dad would say, shut up. You can even start a lawnmower. So fast forward a couple more years, at the age of 22, he was a 22-year-old suspect. My grandma, his mom, wealthy, that was her name, sits him down, looks him dead in the eyes and says, Dave, I'm a little concerned about you. Me, your aunts, and some neighbors have been talking, and yes, we are a little concerned about you. That's Utah way of saying, we think you're gay, because he wasn't married out of high school. And my dad shot her dead in the eyes and said, okay, Mom, number one, I'm not gay. Number two, guys my age range got married for no more than 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. A, to dodge the draft. B, plain old tradition. Are now getting divorced with kids that are not even fucking 5 yet. And Mom, I don't want that. My dad concludes, Mom, I want to figure out what my life is all about before I ruin someone else's life. That is by far the most responsible 22-year-old in history, folks. 22-year-olds these days are saying, I found my soulmate on TikTok. Morons. So fast forward to 1983, my dad moves to Colorado and he meets my mom. Their first date, God rest his soul, it was Chuck Norris' Lone Wolf McGreg. Because nothing says a few roundhouse kicks to the face. Am I right, folks? So my dad walks my mom to the car, like a good gentleman, looks her straight in the eyes. It was a romantic scene. The breeze was blowing and all that, and my dad said, hey, Peggy, pull my finger. And bless my mom's heart, what does she do? She pulls it, and my dad let the loudest fart in Colorado history. Burn! And then after that, it's gunshots. Burn! And burn! And then he starts singing, Old MacDonald had a burn, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a burn. And my mom's like, okay, I grew up with 2 brothers and a dad, and I have never seen behavior such as this before. That's when my dad said she was the one. And shout out to them. They've been married 42 years this August. So yeah, my dad survived the farm. He survived Vietnam. And he was brave enough to end it with a fart. So folks, I better end this mic, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to see you next week. Hope to see you Matt on the Mat on school. Have a nice day.